What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and this is great that I Swear Vezo is here for Ask Yee. That's where you guys get to call in and ask any question that you want, and we're here to give you some great advice. 800-292-5150. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Who's this?
Renee.
Renee. Okay, Renee, what's your question today for me and Vezo?
Well, it's advice and a question. My daughter was living in another state for 5 years, and she wanted to come back home. And she came back home 3 months ago, and she's living with me until she gets back on her feet. Now, I have, rules and expectations in my house. She was walking around the house with no bra on.
Mm-hmm.
And her brother's here, he's 13. And my spouse, which is her stepdad. And I asked her, I said, would you please, put a bra on, have some type of, decency. And she didn't want to. She said, I don't like wearing a bra. She laughed. So she just went and put a jacket on. And I have surveillance cameras inside and outside. And when I get up in the morning, I normally clear out all my notifications, but one caught my eye. It was a video and a picture, and I looked at it. She was walking around half naked in my house.
What do you said, half naked?
Yes.
What do you mean by half naked? Like, what does she have on?
Just her underwear. She walked out of her bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her she had to go.
Okay.
Am I wrong for putting her out? She's financially able to, provide for herself and on her own. And she blew up at me, stating it was no big deal. It was in the middle of the night. And when she left out of her room, she went straight to the restroom. And I said, you should have just put on a robe. But guess what? She doesn't even own a robe. It's all about decency and respect for herself and my house and others who are here.
Right.
So am I wrong for telling her she has to leave?
Ooh. Vezo, I see you want to say something. Go ahead.
Honestly, I don't think you're wrong because, like you say, she financially able to fend for herself, and that's your household, and you got rules, and I think people definitely need to respect each other's rules. It's your house. I don't think you're wrong, but like, have you ever had any like extensive conversation with her and explain to her like this is what I expect in my household? Have y'all ever had that conversation, or did it go from?
Yeah, but it went south. She was very defensive. She was yelling at me.
It feels like she's going through a lot. Like, what's happening? Like you said, she has to get back on her feet. What's happening in her life?
She landed a good paying job, and she was able to save up, all her checks, and she was able to rent an apartment, which is good because I'm not going to put her out in the streets if she didn't have a place to live.
Right.
But when I told her my expectations and what I saw on the video and how disrespectful it was, I said, you have to leave.
I will say this, though, and just to on the behalf of her, it was the middle of the night. She went to the bathroom and then back in the room real fast. She probably wasn't expecting anybody to see her at all. And you have cameras. That's why you saw it. But it's not like it was, somebody was in there. Maybe she just was like, I'm going to just run into the bathroom.
But guess what? My spouse had already left for work.
Mm-hmm.
But he came back because he forgot his cell phone. And they could have easily crossed paths.
Right.
And I mentioned that to her. And she blew up against me. Well, it didn't happen.
And that's the other thing. He left for work. She probably thought no one was there.
Well, I was still here and her brother.
But
you know what? Okay, Angel, say if I was your friend and I came to your house to hang out for the weekend, how would you feel if I was walking around with no bra on, or you knew I came out of the guest room half naked? I wouldn't do that because I would have respect for your house and for myself.
No, I'm not thinking that you're wrong for having these guidelines, but what I'm trying to understand is what her thought process was when that happened. Intention also does matter, and I just feel like, what was she thinking when that happened? To me, it feels like, from what you're saying, she thinks your spouse isn't there. So she went to the bathroom and went back in the room, just quickly being lazy, but I understand what you're saying. Your house is your rules, but I'm just also talking about what her intention was.
And do your spouse, like, have he ever like complained about it or anything? Like, is it something that matter to him? Have he ever said like, I don't want to see her? Or do you think that he's liable to look and that's what really make you uncomfortable?
Oh, no. I'm not worried about him looking at her in that type of way.
Right. I think people also have different levels of what's appropriate. Like I'm a very like always have something on in the house, even if I'm home by myself. But there's people that like are very comfortable with not having I wouldn't wear a bra in the house which I also feel like a lot of women probably wouldn't wear a bra in the house. But it is.
Right, and that's probably what she's used to doing at her own house. Maybe when she gets home, she's ready to take off that underwire bra. When I go out, I have on an underwire bra, but when I come home, I wear a comfortable sports bra that doesn't have any wires.
But a lot of people don't do that when they're at home, is all I'm saying. So when I'm saying
but
intention.
This is not her actual home. This is my home, and she's a guest here until she gets her own place.
I understand. But even in me talking to you right now, I just feel like it's important to hear what she has to say, because like I said, it might be the intention is not to go against you, but it's also like, oh my God, I'm at home. The one thing, there's always a meme where when women come home, the first thing you do is want to take your bra off. You know what I'm saying? And so
yeah, but if I had already told her how I felt about it, and then she gonna turn around and walk around half naked, that means she doesn't have any respect for me, herself, and what I told her the first time just went over her head.
Okay. I understand this. It feels like you two will continue to bump heads. I don't know if it's necessarily that she's trying to disrespect you or if it's just a difference in how we are at home. But it is your house, and if you have certain rules that you want her to abide by and she can't abide by those rules, then you guys can't coexist in the same space. But I think that you also have to give her some grace on the fact that she's not doing anything intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
And also try to hear her out. Maybe y'all can't live together and she has the option to do that, but you also have to listen to her as well.
Yeah. I talked to a close friend of mine, and she was telling me, we need to have a long talk before she does leave, because life is too short and she can go out here and you never know what could happen, or I could leave and something could happen. But I did tell her that I was going to have a talk with her before she moves out.
Yeah, because these seem like minor things, so I hope you guys can work through this.
Yes, I'm sure we will. I just wanted to get some input from you.
Yeah. Just think about intention and have that conversation. And I wish you guys so much luck. That's your family. That's your child. That's your flesh and blood.
I know.
Okay. Lead with love.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you for calling.
Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Have a nice afternoon.
You too.